So I was doing some cleaning today, and something popped into my head, and it was the phrase or sentence, either learn to control yourself or be controlled by another. And that hit me with such magnitude that I actually started crying. Like, it made me tear up. And then I felt a very strong compulsion to go write that down. So when I came in here to grab my notebook and pen to write it down, when I went to write, something inside of me shifted gears, and instead of writing that phrase down, I just started writing. And this somewhat lengthy little essay came out of that, and after reading it, I felt a very strong inclination that this is one of those things that I need to offer to the world and let everybody do with it what they will. So here we go. This game is not designed to have rulers. The purpose of the game is growth, the perpetual development of life. Individual consciousness is the goal. Collective consciousness is the default setting. We have been programmed by our life experience to be and to think the way that we are. There is a source. There has to be a source. There could not be a collective consciousness without a unifying source. Something has brought all of these systems into play. Freedom is the ultimate desire of man's heart. The human spirit abhors nothing more than the feeling of oppression. The crux of this game is that if the collective will not take absolute responsibility for themselves and learn to begin the process of self-mastery, then a void is left within the individual consciousness, and it must be filled. The program is either rule yourself or be ruled over. Either master yourself or be mastered by another. We do not know where thoughts come from. Ideas fall out of the ether and manifest into reality through the human interface. Some ideas manifest into light and love, while others' ideas manifest into cruelty and destruction. What determines the outcome? What is the gatekeeper which determines which ideas get manifested into reality? It's human consciousness. The state of the consciousness within the individual determines which ideas manifest into reality. Those who do not know how to control their own minds are subject to the pre-programmed responses that exist in their subconscious. We have been conditioned to believe that there is an intrinsic connection between ourselves and our thoughts and ideas. Every person has had thoughts run through their mind that makes them very uncomfortable and think, where did that come from? That's terrible. Those invasive thoughts are not yours. They exist in the stream, and the stream is always flowing. We cannot control which ideas surface for us, but we can choose which ones we give vitalizing energy towards. The challenge is that most of us do not know how to discern our own thoughts. We're too close to them. We identify ourselves with the ideas that offer some degree of validation and then reject that which makes us uncomfortable. And it all happens on a subconscious level. We cannot help with what we resonate with when we cannot discern our own thoughts from the thoughts coming in from the stream. When we do not have control of our own thoughts, all we can do is attach ourselves to the ideas of others and be absorbed into the collective. Because we are unable to govern ourselves, through the faculty of self-control, the program of the game is to insert destructive ideas into the stream to be absorbed into the multitudes in order to be manifested into reality. The purpose being that the burden of the oppression that is the inevitable end of the lack of self-governance is brought into the equation in order to be the trigger to begin to unlock the human spirit and begin the process of rebirth, choosing your own program, having come to realize the oppression of the program that you've been given. A seed must die and fall to the earth, and through it much more life will come. We cannot see it, but the whole game is actually working in our favor, and it always has been. But most of us are too consumed with the overwhelming burden of survival to see through the pain of existence. Humanity has lost itself, and the perpetual escalation of catastrophe in the world is the default designed to wake us up and show us the true cost of this comfort and convenience, and it's at the dismissal and the rejection of personal responsibility and self-discipline. This game has reset many times in the past. There's evidence popping up everywhere. We are tasked with breaking free from our own psychological prison cell and reclaiming our conscious sovereignty. In doing so, we can create a new collective consciousness and build a new reality. We, as individuals, must find the connection to Source that exists inside of each one of us, that is blocked. And it's blocked by all the connections that we have to all these different ideas that we've accumulated over the course of our lives that have built us a worldview that is comfortable enough for us to exist inside of. The whole universe is waiting for us to wake up and to own our own experience. To create a new world where the default is that we all understand our connection to Source and to each other and to the entire energy field that is reality. The pain is here to get your attention, and as loud as the world is, the message is always go inside. If you spend enough time within yourself, experimenting with your own thoughts and emotions with the intent of understanding, you will start something that will change everything inside of you. Fear prevents you from testing boundaries, and your beliefs are the source of that fear, and that fear is your only enemy. Master your fear, and the world loses its power over you. When the world loses its power over you, then you are free to find yourself hidden under all the stories and broken promises that the world gave you. When you find yourself, you find your passion. When you find your passion, you create your own purpose. And once you have your purpose, you can then begin to engage in the world as an energetic force with the power to change the world through the influence of your resonance and your character. And that's going to permeate through everything and have an effect in the field. The real question becomes, can you take your hands off the wheel and accept absolutely everything as the inevitability of the energetic response to the collective consciousness as it is? If you want to change the world, first you must accept the world exactly as it is. If you can truly accept the world exactly as it is, then you will be able to see and understand what is going on. And once you can see the rest of humanity as that broken little child inside of you, striving for validation and acceptance, then you find yourself in a position to do something. You find yourself in a position to love your neighbor as yourself. And that is the great calling. That is the force that breaks the cycle.